Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Washington Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news alright, folks. Today we're diving into some pretty interesting developments that are shaking up the Washington Commanders as they gear up for what promises to be an exciting NFL season. And trust me, this is just your average preseason story. No, what's happening right now could have some serious repercussions for the team's offensive dynamics, their chemistry, and ultimately, their chances of competing at the highest level. So buckle up because there's a lot to unpack here, and I promise you it's worth your full attention. First, let's start with the big picture. The Commanders, coming off a season that showed flashes of brilliance but also exposed some vulnerabilities, are entering this new chapter with high hopes but also some notable challenges. One of the most talked about issues recently has been the status of their star wide receiver, Terry McLaurin. As of now, McLaurin is holding out of training camp, which is a big deal. He's been placed on the reserve did not report list, signaling that he's not currently part of the team's on-field activities. This kind of news always raises eyebrows among fans and analysts alike, especially when it involves a player who's been such a key figure in the team's offense over the past few seasons. Now, McLaurin's absence means that the Commanders need to find someone else to step up in his place. And that's where things get interesting. The team has responded by signing a new wide receiver, Tay Martin. If you're not familiar with Martin, he's a player who's been trying to carve out his spot in the NFL for a little while now. He's a 6'3" receiver who's had a bit of a journeyman career so far, splitting his college years between Washington State and Oklahoma State. That's a solid background, and he's shown flashes of potential at the professional level. Last season, Martin caught a 49-yard touchdown for the Tennessee Titans, which, let's be honest, is quite a notable play considering he only had a limited role in the NFL. Martin's NFL journey has been a bit unconventional. His only official catch to date is that 49-yard touchdown for the Titans, which came in what was essentially his only game on the active roster last season. Prior to that, he spent time with the San Francisco 49ers in 2022 and 2023, appearing in just 3 total games across those seasons. So, what does that tell us? Well, it's pretty clear that Martin is still fighting to establish himself as a consistent threat at the NFL level. But here's the thing, sometimes, a team signing a player like Martin isn't just about the immediate impact on the field. It's about the opportunity for a player to prove they belong, especially when the team is facing a situation like McLaurin's holdout. And for Martin, at 27 years old, this is a golden chance. An opportunity to showcase his skills, to show the coaching staff that he can be a reliable target, and perhaps, to earn a more permanent spot on the roster. It's the kind of moment that a player dreams of when they're fighting for their NFL career. While some might view him as just a camp body, a temporary fill-in while the team figures out what's next with McLaurin, others see it as a real shot for Martin to make a statement. Because in the NFL, sometimes a single play or a single opportunity is all it takes to change your destiny. But let's take a step back and understand the bigger picture. The Commanders' offense has been heavily reliant on McLaurin's route running, hands, and ability to make plays after the catch. His absence isn't just a minor inconvenience. It's a significant challenge for new offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy, who's trying to solidify his system and get his playmakers on the same page. McLaurin's holdout means that the team's chemistry at the receiver position is still a work in progress. It also puts extra pressure on the other receivers to step up and fill the void, which isn't always easy in the early days of training camp. Now, let's talk about what this means for the team's overall outlook. The Commanders are entering this season with a fresh perspective, especially after their recent draft picks and roster moves. They've invested heavily in their offensive line, trying to protect their quarterback and give him the time to find his receivers. They've also added some promising young talents on defense, but at the core of everything is that offense, and specifically, that wide receiver core. McLaurin's holdout has created a bit of a ripple effect, forcing other players to step up and testing the depth of the roster. It's worth mentioning that the NFC East is a division known for its physicality and competitive spirit. The Eagles, Cowboys, and Giants have all made moves to improve their squads, and the Commanders know that every game counts. Missing a key player like McLaurin at the start of training camp might seem like a setback, but it could also serve as motivation for others to elevate their game. Players like Jahan Dotson, Curtis Samuel, and the new signing Tay Martin are all eager to prove they can be reliable targets. Dotson, for instance, has shown flashes of brilliance, and now he's got this chance to step into a more prominent role. Curtis Samuel, with his versatility, could be an X-factor if he can stay healthy and produce consistently. Meanwhile, the team's quarterback situation is another piece of the puzzle. The team's signal caller, whether it's Sam Howell or someone else, needs to develop chemistry with his receivers. The absence of McLaurin at this stage could complicate that process, but it also means other receivers, like Martin, will get more reps in practice. This could be crucial for their development and for the team's overall offensive rhythm once the season kicks off. Now, I want to touch on the broader context of NFL training camps. It's a time for players to compete for starting spots, build chemistry, and get into game shape. But when a key player is holding out, it can create a ripple effect, forcing others to step into bigger roles earlier than expected. For Martin, this is a perfect example. He's getting an extended look in practice, trying to impress the coaching staff and prove he deserves a spot on the roster, maybe even more. And it's not just about individual performances. It's about team mentality, resilience, and adapting to the circumstances. The Commanders are no strangers to adversity, and they've faced setbacks in past seasons that they've managed to overcome. This situation with McLaurin could serve as a rallying point, a challenge that the team needs to overcome together. It's a test of their depth, their coaching staff's ability to adapt, and their collective resolve to stay competitive even when the situation isn't ideal. Looking ahead, there are still plenty of questions surrounding the Commanders heading into the season. Will McLaurin eventually come to an agreement and return to the team? How will this affect the offensive chemistry once he's back? Will Tay Martin or other young receivers step up and become reliable targets? And what about the team's overall strategy? Will they lean more on the running game or try to develop their passing attack with the players available now? NFC East is known for its unpredictability, and the Commanders are looking to make a statement after finishing last season with a record that showed promise but also room for growth. They've got a talented roster, a promising young quarterback, and an eager coaching staff. But right now, the focus is on overcoming this hurdle, that missing piece, that star receiver who's currently on holdout. It's a storyline that will unfold over the coming weeks, and one that could define the direction of their season. So fans, keep your eyes peeled. This situation with McLaurin is dynamic, and it's evolving day by day. The team is adjusting, players are fighting for playing time, and the coaching staff is strategizing on how to navigate this challenge. It's a testament to how unpredictable and exciting NFL football can be. Every season is full of surprises, and sometimes, the biggest stories emerge before the first game even begins. The Commanders are no different, and their journey this year is shaping up to be one of resilience, opportunity, and determination. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think McLaurin will come back soon? Are you confident that the team can overcome this obstacle, or do you see other players stepping up and making a difference? Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Washington Commanders. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Washington Commanders news. This season promises to be full of excitement, drama, and surprises, and I can't wait to share it all with you. Thanks for watching, and let's go Commanders!